The fall season is here, and that's a new fall season for the Rhode Island Interscholastic League as well. Hi, everybody. I'm Stone Freeman here for your view, and it's always exciting when we get a chance to talk to somebody from the Interscholastic League. And today we have the executive director of the RIIL, Michael Lunney. Michael, how are you this morning?
I'm doing great, Stone. How are you?
Excellent, excellent. It's always excited to talk to you, not only to get to see you again, but also to hear about the exciting things the Interscholastic League has unfolding. From my understanding, though, a pretty busy summer for you folks getting the fall season underway in preparation for this 22-23 year.
Yeah, it's always a busy time of the year over the summer, and everyone starts heading out to games, but there's a lot that goes into all the planning prior to the start of the season. So over the summer, we had a lot of coaches training, eligibility workshops, athletic director meetings, principals meetings, just a lot of things that are going into preparation for the coming school year. So we really try to take advantage of that downtime, and the month of July we try to catch our breath a little bit, and then as soon as the calendar turns to August, things start to heat up.
Yeah, if you could talk about or continue that conversation a bit, though, about principals and coaches. There's a lot of hands involved in making sure the success of the Interscholastic League stays where it has been over really the last 50 years. What are those relationships like, right? Principal breakfasts and things of that nature, where people are coming together to ensure that student athletes in the state have a league that they can play in.
Yeah, well, I think that's one of the unique things about or separates us from youth sports is that we are part of schools, and so. Actively engaging the administrations of the schools is important to us because it's something that we can, discuss eligibility and talk about sportsmanship and talk about a lot of the issues that will ultimately come up during the school year. So just trying to get everyone on the same page is important. But it's only when everybody works together and is all pulling in the same direction that as a membership that we can have a successful school year. So that we try to take advantage of that time as much as we can.
Yeah, a huge component of these, relationships from the principals to the student athletes is the coaches that are kind of in the middle there, right? Coordinating practices and games and schedules of that nature. I understand the Interscholastic League has done a really good job this summer as well of putting out different requirements for coaches. What have those processes been like over the last few months?
Yeah, so last year we've been having discussions over the past few months about coaches' requirements, and again, our coaches have to go through training prior to being certified to be able to work with our students. So we are connected with the National Federation of High Schools, the NFHS. They have a great education program that we've been tapping into over the years. So they tweaked their requirements and their programs a little bit, and so we just kind of got in line with that. So now there's 3 levels of national certification that coaches can go through. So as a state, we went through our principals committee and got approved that by the end of this school year, 100% of our coaches, whether they're volunteer or paid, are going to be nationally level 1 certified through the National Federation of High Schools. So we're really excited about that. The majority of our coaches were already almost to that standard. And so there's just 1 or 2 courses that they're going to have to take prior to the start of their seasons, and then they'll be all nationally level 1 certified. So I think that's really exciting. And I think we're actually the first state in the country to actually mandate that.
Yeah, I was just going to ask that. Is this an unprecedented type of feat for interscholastic leagues across the country, right? Is Rhode Island kind of separated from the other 49 states?
Yeah, I think we were the first ones to kind of get on board with it. But I mean, a lot of the states use the coaching education that the National Federation puts out in some form. So with this new certification program, I think it's just another way for us to make sure that our coaches are at a good level and have a good understanding of what school-based athletics are.
Yeah, another huge portion of the relationships that players and coaches and principals and people like yourself are creating is the relationship with the community as well. I know that the RIIL has some really important partners of theirs, but a renewal with a place like Ortho, Rhode Island that has such a footprint in our state. I know that's been something too that you all have been working on. What is that relationship like now with Ortho, Rhode Island, and what maybe are the benefits for the Interscholastic League as a whole?
Yeah, the Ortho Rhode Island, we're really thrilled that we were able to extend our relationship with Ortho Rhode Island. And, again, our sponsorships are important to us. It really helps us to run our association, to keep costs down for schools. So certainly those relationships are important, but in particular, relationships like the one we have with Ortho are important because of the services that they can provide back to our students, our member schools. So Ortho provides a lot of things. Number one, they have Ortho Rhode Island Express, which is a great way for our kids to get seen really quickly if they get injured. And they're able to, even on a weekend, be able to get in within 24 hours to see and get treated. So that's one important aspect that they provide. They also provide opportunities for free physicals for our kids. They actually instituted an injury prevention program, which is important too. That it's not just when kids get hurt that they're there to support them, but also just being proactive in a lot of ways. So they're working with our schools on injury prevention programs, trying to prevent ACL injuries and those kind of things. So it's a really important relationship for us, and we've extended that relationship into the extended future, which we're really excited about. So we are just really happy with that partnership.
Yeah, that's excellent. I know, again, Ortho Rhode Island has such a big stamp across our state, so that's really encouraging to hear. Another really positive note for the Interscholastic League is its Hall of Fame, and I understand the Hall of Fame dinner's coming up recently. A couple names jump out this year. I mean, Ed Cooley, of course, with Providence going to the Sweet 16. Elizabeth Beisel, a swimmer who has gold medals. What is this about, right? Honoring the past, getting a Hall of Fame, and I know you've had the Hall of Fame established, but now another year for this. This has to be an exciting time for the Interscholastic League.
It's really a fun thing to go back and look at our past, and the Hall of Fame is really fairly new. And if you think about, since 1932, all of the athletes, the outstanding performances and coaches and administrators and people that have gone through our league that we want to honor and recognize. It really is a really cool thing for us, our committee, to go back and find nominations, identify people that are worthy. But we're really excited about this particular one because it's been 3 years since we've been able to do this. Once the pandemic hit, we had to postpone one of our Hall of Fames, and we've really just been able to get it back up and running. So obviously, you mentioned Ed Cooley and Elizabeth Beisel, but our own Tom Mesnati, who, again, was very instrumental in bringing this association to the next level. We're going to be able to honor him, and he retired in the middle of the pandemic. So having the opportunity to really recognize his accomplishments is going to be important too. But again, we've got 12 inductees that are going in. All of them are fantastic stories. And that's going to be at the Crown Plaza on October 26th. And we just encourage people to, go to our website and get some more information about that. So if you have the opportunity to come out and help celebrate these fantastic people, it would definitely be worth the effort to get out and see this special night.
You talked briefly about how this is historic, not only because it's a Hall of Fame for the Interscholastic League, but the requirements, what it takes to get in for an organization that's trying to honor decades of people. What is that requirement process like, right? Who are selecting these people? Maybe just a little glimpse behind the curtain at how this Hall of Fame is selected.
So the first thing is that we need a nomination. And again, that's for an organization like us, the nomination packet is fairly extensive. What needs to be submitted on behalf of someone. So there's certainly a lot of people that are worthy, and sometimes we just don't get the nominations that we need. But there's a committee, an active committee made up of former athletic directors, coaches, administrators that sit on this and really try to screen all the nominations that we get, and then come up with a class. And we've been doing this every other year, but I think we're going to try to make this an annual thing again, because we do think there are so many people that are worthy of being recognized. So that's kind of how the process works. But in addition, what the committee does is try to put a pool of candidates together of people that we feel should be recognized, and then try to actively go out either to their former schools or to people that know them to try to find a way to get the nomination form filled out and sent in to us. It's a pretty extensive process. And, again, each year, we try to put in between 12 and 14 inductees, but we get far more nominations than that we have to kind of sift down and go through to to come up with our final inductees each year. So it's quite a process, but it's also really fun to go back and look at our history and find out how many outstanding people have been part of this organization.
Yeah, that again is the Rhode Island Interscholastic League Hall of Fame dinner. It's October 26th at the Crown Plaza in Warwick. And like Michael said, visit their website, RIIL.org, to get some more information. Michael, it's always great talking to you. Exciting for the Interscholastic League to have another calendar year for their sake, ready to roll here with 2022-23. Thanks for joining us.
Always a pleasure, Stone. Appreciate the time.